Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Jaime. If you're listening to this on the pod, hello, wherever you may be coming from. I have a little bit of an energy update for the week and some messages that wanted to be brought forward from the angels. They wanted to bring through this energy of reassurance and messages of really what's taking place to help you see from a higher perspective of everything that is happening. Everything is perfectly divine timed. Everything is happening according to higher divine plan. And they really wanted to bring through this message and, most importantly, this felt sense of reassurance. If things have felt confusing or foggy or just unclear, the answers or the way forward may have not felt fully clear. Things have felt confusing. The path that you're on is clarifying. The energy is clarifying. Your direction, your path, there's a clear direction and energy that is clearing up. So clarity first can really be felt sense within your body. It is this felt sense that happens when you know the way, you know what to do, you know how to move forward. There's been a very intentional, almost like clearing of your path, clearing of your energy field. It felt like clearing of energy that has been locked away and stored within your body. This fragmented version of yourself needed to be cleansed and cleared and purified in order to move forward and find that true clarity that is coming. It feels like blinding clarity. So the path is clearing. They want to bring through this message of reassurance, and they want to assure you that the path you're on is you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. Everything is going according to plan. And can you bring a sigh of relief? Can you relax into that deep sense of knowing that they want to bring forward? Because if anything that you feel in this message and this transmission, it is just this energy of divine trust, assurance, reassurance. They want to reassure you that all is well. And really the energy of this week is really bringing forward this rebirth, this really powerful and peaceful and loving rebirth. It feels like there is this completion energy and the energy of emergence. But this completion is really, it doesn't feel like a hard completion. It feels like a very peaceful sense of completion energy, almost like you've graduated and you're moving onward from an experience and you've gained all that you needed from this experience. And there is like a closing of a door and there's a completion around that experience. So perhaps it's like completion of an upgrade. It feels like there's been a lot of activations. I mean, it doesn't feel like it. There is been a lot of activations. There's been a really big clearing phase. There's also been like a completion of a lesson, maybe a karmic experience, or just like you've completed what you needed to do on this part of your path. And now there is this sense of like moving onward from that experience. Like you've milked everything that you needed to milk from that one experience. And it like letting the process complete itself. And the process really completes itself by letting the energy move out of your body. And what's really interesting is that I'm remembering that in January specifically, there was a message that came in of your body just needs a second to integrate, to process, to release. And what was really interesting, because I felt like last week there was another message around that, which feels like this feels like the bookend to all of that. So I don't know, January, February, March, it feels like there's this bookend of this cycle that is run into completion, that is moving out of your body. And when we allow the fullness of that experience to move and be released out of our body and not trying to cover it up or not trying to, be anywhere than where you needed to be. And that's where like I think it was last week where there was like this message of letting go of distraction so that this energy, this healing experience, this activation that you've been moving through, this massive upgrade, can complete itself out of the body. So it does feel like this is the completion of all that experience. This is the completion of an integration that you needed that time to really move through and clear out and soak in and cleanse out all the energy of that one experience. And you've learned all that you needed to from this one thing that you were doing or this experience. And now there is this sense of extracting and taking all the lessons of that one experience. And now you're moving onward, you're moving forward. You will know what to do. You will have that clear sense within your body. And that is where the most powerful place you can be in is when you have that clear feeling in your body, because it does feel like your radar or your intuitive senses have kind of been not muddied up, but there's just been some interference. There's been some energy, some, old stuff that some muck, we could say, clearing out of your field. And it was very intentional and it needed to complete itself. And now this energy field is clearing up. So it does feel like there's this peaceful sense of rebirth and completion and emergence. But also what's happening is this powerful and massive upgrade is taking place within your energy. They wanted to bring through this attention to the fact that you are operating, from a very low sense of power. Like you are operating from a 2 when you're going to be operating from a 10, right? And this is where they really want to bring through in this transmission, this feeling, this energy of let's turn your power all the way on. Let's turn your light all the way on. Let's turn your gifts all the way on. Let's turn up your magnetism. Let's turn up the volume of your light, your energy, and your voice. Your energy is ready to turn all the way up. Your potential, your higher potential is coming forward, and it does feel like you're being nudged forward on your path. So I do feel this sense of generating light, like your energy is increasing, it's accelerating, it's powering up for you to move forward in a more potency, more power. It does feel like your energy field has gone through a massive upgrade and you've been literally operating from like a 2 when you need to be operating from a 10. You're using a very low percentage of your potential, of your power, of your worth, of what you're here to do. And it's time to recognize your light and turn the dial all the way on, because that is where you need to be. Your energy field needs to be turn all the way on. Your light field needs to be turned all the way on. And I feel like it's time, this is a time of expanding your soul's light and your soul's essence. And knowing that with that energy and message of completion, because I've been seeing this a lot with, clients and what I've been channeling is that, some people keep going back to the same thing or going back to the same experience when they've learned what they needed to from that experience, and the time is up on that one experience and it's time to move on to a new experience. So are you doing the same thing from this low level? That's why things have been unclear too, is because you're upgrading, you've upgraded, and you're operating from this old place, from this old lesson, from this old experience when you've completed it and it's time to move on to a new experience. Your soul is seeking to expand through you. It's seeking to take you on a new path. You're being nudged forward on your path. And it's seeking to expand through you, and the energy of change is all around you. Part of why it's felt so confusing and dysregulating is because you're shifting into a higher way of being, your higher potential, and this light is turning on. And when this happens, it can feel quite confusing because you're trying to do things from an old place when you're being called to really rise up and do things from this new place. But that requires a little bit of unknown that may feel out of your comfort zone, but it is really this new way that's coming forward. I also feel like with that message is that you've been integrating your energy, your light body is expanding. I also feel like there's new guides. There's almost like and your mission, your path is turning on. and it's like almost feels like new. It feels bigger than what you're used to, and you're literally being nudged forward on your path. So I do feel like you are going to know and feel that energy, that felt sense of clarity of when it's time to move forward. But right now it's like honoring that graduation, like you've completed, you've graduated, you're moving on. It's time to move forward because you gained what you needed to out of the experience. You've let the energy of what needed to move out of you move out of you. You've completed that karmic experience, that lesson, what you were doing before. It could be like a job or a past relationship. It doesn't feel or a phase of a relationship or a phase of being that is no longer needed. You've learned the lesson. Now it's time to take that lesson and become that master energy, right? So recognize your power, sit with that energy, because your energy field is powering up, and it's less about needing to learn and more about this great remembrance that is happening. Your soul's light is merging with your physical body. Your higher self is merging with your physical body. And when this light enters, the light is so bright that it penetrates the blockages that you've been feeling to release. And it creates new pathways. It expands your light in your field. Dormant cells that have been dormant gifts, dormant talents, dormant aspects of yourself are really awakening with this energy of this light that is moving through you. It does feel like a powering up, a magnetism that is being ignited within you. I also feel like there's a lot of ancient and past life memories and gifts and wisdom that is surfacing right now with the activation of this new light that is coming. You may gain a sense of a remembrance that this is familiar. You've done this before. It feels like ancient wisdom is surfacing. These gifts that you've had are starting to wake up, and it feels like you've cleared out the cellular memory or the gunk of that to wake up this hidden talent that is within you, to reveal the truth of who you are, to reveal the true path of your soul, because you're being nudged forward with this higher potential. I get the sense that a lot of you have been praying and asking for your highest potential to come through, to really step into that bigger thing that you've been calling to do. And your path is really accelerating in a fast pace. So it does feel like there's a bit of adapting and flowing and recognizing like, hey, you've done this before. If you ever feel unprepared or not ready, like it's more about this remembrance of who you are and less about like needing to learn at this point. Some of you've gained what you needed to from learning, and now it's time to go all in. It's time to recognize the wisdom that you carry from all these experiences and really reclaim that and declare that you are ready, because you are ready. You have been in training for lifetimes for this. There is a familiarity around this, and maybe even around people that are coming into your life, because you know them, you recognize them. There's a familiar sense that you've done this before. So if you ever feel unprepared or not ready, I want you to remember that you've had these gifts. This is just like a reunion happening with this turning on of your light and this expansion happening within your energy fields of your soul's unique light. Your own soul's light is really merging with your physical body. And with that comes this turning on of this awareness, of this remembrance of who you are, this remembrance of this true path and the higher path that is right in front of you. I do feel like you're being nudged forward on it, and it's time to go all in and ride that wave. So their energy of change is all around you. You don't need to keep going back to learn and learn and learn. You've learned enough from that experience. Now it's time to bring it in and, move forward, move along. You don't need to keep doing the same versions of the same thing or repeating the same lessons. Like the lesson is complete, and you've soaked in all that was needed from that one experience or that experience that you've been through. And it does feel like this beautiful completion is upon you. It feels like this peaceful resolution. I'm hearing this peaceful rebirth, this beautiful rebirth that is here, and your path is clarifying. You're going to know, you're going to feel And that is the most beautiful place, is like you can have this logical mindset of something that you want to do and you know what to do, but the energy doesn't feel clear to move. But I feel like this energy is opening as a result of this completion and moving out this energy and this massive rebirth that you're moving through. So I feel like I need to celebrate you guys. Like the angels are celebrating you. They're applauding you. They're just really reassuring you on your path. Like the path that you're on is assured. So what would it be like? Like, how would you walk about your day if you knew that you were in alignment and stepping into alignment with this higher potential that hasn't been reached yet? What if you were to recognize, like, yeah, this isn't it. This thing that I've been doing or experiencing isn't it, because there's something better. Like there's a bigger thing that I've been calling in and really wanting to step into, but I've been kind of fearful of it, or I've been thinking I need to do all these random things and tasks that I don't need to do, because I actually just need to step in and do the thing and embrace who you really are and remember who you are, and remember that that thing, the bigger thing, you've done it before. Your soul knows. And in fact, your soul is overriding your ego's plan. You know, I was getting this image of, and they're showing it to me right now. Firstly, they want to bring through this energy of this golden light and bring through a brief little feeling and activation. If you can imagine and feel this golden light penetrating and breathing it in and expanding your cells, and when feeling that warmth, feeling that vibration lift, feeling the energy of the old release, and really repowering your energy, powering up your energy, because you're going to move forward, and you already are moving forward at a very different level of potency and magnetism to you. So it's time for you to recognize your power and no longer operate from this low little percentage. We need to turn the dial all the way up, because you are needed right now. So can you take a deep breath and feel this beautiful golden light activation as I'm speaking? There are weaving it through your field and energy, this golden light. And can you recognize and feel this support that is there for you, and this reassurance and assurance that that the way is being made clear for you, and you are on the right path. And in fact, it's picking up and it's accelerating, and it's actually a higher path, a mission, and a greater timeline than what you previously thought it was. So yeah, you've completed the lesson, you've gained the experience. Like, it's time to move on to a new thing, like try new things. Really, life is seeking to expand through you. Your soul is wanting to take you to new places, and the energy of change is all around you. Life wants to get easier for you through divine law. You know, it's all set in motion for life to get easier for you. You don't have to repeat struggle. You don't have to live through struggle. You don't have to do things through the struggle. It's time to step into your power and your higher potential that is here for you. So can you take a deep breath in and know that you've always been made for this? And it's more about this remembrance that is taking place. Ancient memories are surfacing. Light is expanding through your field. Dormant cells, dormant DNA is waking up. And it's time for you to recognize and turn on the dial of that light, because it's so needed right now. Life wants to bring through ease and grace, and it wants to happen through joy. You don't need to struggle, and we don't need to carry any more of that lack or struggle within your field. So can you feel the golden light coming in to clear it, to release it? Can you see that there is a clear door and path in front of you? Can you breathe that into your energy? Can you let your shoulders drop and bring through this energy of ease and grace? Because there is a better way. It doesn't have to be done through struggle anymore. In fact, it just doesn't need to be done that way. And you will know the right answer. You will know the right path. It's just felt a little bit dysregulated. It's felt a little bit unclear for a reason, and kind of interfering. There's been a bit of interference between this like higher self and lower self, and interference. So if there was a big answer or question that you had, just let it be really clear to you. Let it be made known to you, because I think it wasn't really the right time, but now it's your energy is clarifying. There's been a lot of shadow aspects of yourself that you had to work through and clear in order to really activate this greater light within you. So change is all around you. Can you welcome new streams of possibility? Can you understand that nothing is impossible right now? Your soul is wanting to take you onto a new path and create new pathways within your brain, new possibilities that you didn't think of before are being made available to you. And it's as simple as this. Okay, I'll give you a very clear, simple 3D example. This light that is coming in to create new pathways that you didn't see before. And that is why it's been unclear. But I want to share with you how simple this can be. Okay. I have been doing the same route, walking route and running route that I've been on. And one day I decided, like last week, I decided that, I'm kind of new in this area. And one day I decided that I was just going to go a different way. I was going to do the same route, but instead of going left, I decided I wanted to go right. And I was led to this beautiful, new, powerful, like vortex area and this amazing running route that I didn't have before. And my soul was nudging because I kept seeing, we have a really big view and I can, see, and I kept seeing these hawks and eagles swarming in this one valley. And I was like, I know I need to go there. There's an energy there. I have to go there at some point. And just never went. And part of you thought, it's going to be like more work. And I'm kind of comfortable with my little route I got going on here. But one day I decided to take that route, and it just opened up this new energy that wasn't available, this new path, this new place that I didn't know was there, all because I decided to take a little bit of an uncomfortable route, but I decided to go a different part of the same path, but go a different way than I don't normally do. And it literally opened up this whole energy and this field. And I actually had a really powerful experience with the energy of the earth there that I wouldn't have had before. And now I have this whole new route that I didn't have before. And so this is just the simple way and these simple shifts that we can do in our everyday life that you don't understand how it creates expansion, how it creates change. Now I have this incredible new place that I was getting bored of my old routine. And because I was a little, not uncomfortable, but I'm going to pretend, right? I went a different way and it just broke open this whole new set of place and possibility that I didn't have before. And that's what I'm talking about right now. There's so much new that wants to come in. There's new pathways. There's new possibilities that weren't there before, or things and aspects and gifts that were previously hidden are now being revealed. So can you allow the new that wants to be revealed? Because there's so much more potential that is here for you than what you previously thought. So what felt impossible is really feeling possible. And you're going to have that felt sense and that knowing, because on an energetic level, what is happening is that your soul's light, there's a lot of energy, a lot of new light coming in. And it's not this like intense thing. It actually feels like a balance of this new soul's light that now has space to breathe in your body. And now it's opening up these dormant cells, this dormant abilities, these dormant ideas or creations that maybe you've had glimpses of, you've had this glimpse, but weren't fully there. But now the full remembrance, the full potency, the full energy, the fullness of what you came in here for is coming to the surface. The true answers, the true path is being revealed to you. And that is what happens when we allow the fullness of what wants to come through, the full, potential, the full manifestation, the full completion to be released and removed out, and the integration of that experience to happen. When we really let that come out, we actually have this whole new energy, and from a new level, we're able to step in, right? And it's like when we're operating from two different bandwidths, right? We're trying to do we're not allowing the fullness because we're trying to rush forward. We're trying to speed up when you need to let something complete itself in order for the new to come in. So there's no rush. I feel like we're on the tail end of that. Like we've soaked it all out from the messages that were coming through the past few months. And now it's like this new corner, this new opening is here. And it feels exciting. It feels accelerated, this rebirth energy, the fullness of who you are. It's like picking the fruit before it is ripe, right? And now these new seeds of potential are rising, and it's so much more than what you thought it was. But sometimes we have to allow and know and understand and be the masters to know when it is time to move forward and when it's not. And, sometimes there's this like two-way thing that happens, and I've experienced it many times, is when I'm trying to push something forward that's not there, not ready, it's not the time. And when I'm trying to rest or not push something forward when it is time, right? And so there's this message, this two-way thing that can happen. And it's about really knowing when it is time to move forward, and you will feel that felt sense of clarity. You probably already are feeling this rebirth and really just a completion, a peaceful resolution, a peaceful completion of a phase, of a part of your life, of a part of a relationship. It doesn't feel like it has to be a full end. It's just this peaceful ending of this old phase, and this knowing that it's time to move forward, or time to move onward. It's time to expand past these familiar edges that you've placed upon yourself, because your soul wants change. It wants you to step in. It's rooting for you. There's reassurance and assurance that the path you're on is the right one. It's just, there's a new mission. There's new guides. There's a higher potential here. There's a greater manifestation that is available. So you've been operating from a very low percentage of what this really could be. And now it's time to recognize your worth, recognize your power, recognize your potential. A lot of you try to hide that. You try to hide your big dreams. You try to hide that potential, but it's time to really expand into the fullness that you came here for. And if you are listening, or if you're watching this, you can see how my energy just opened up, right? Open up that energy, open up that heart, open up your light. Don't hide your light. You don't need to hide your light anymore. You're not meant to fit into places that you've outgrown. It's time to open up and expand and let the fullness of what you came here for. I just remembered, I forgot to share this image that came to me. I got this image of like the higher self is on this golden path and timeline, almost like a highway of light. And the whole higher self was looking over, the soul was looking over at the human that was kind of like off-roading off the rails a little bit, but knowing that like it was in the weeds and it was caught up in this car that was in the muck and the weeds. But the soul knew like that was intentional and needed to clear the weeds. It needed to clear the energy, right? And it was going off the rails a little bit, but it was understanding that that was an important part of this process of reuniting with the higher self, right? So I was watching it over, I was looking over at this card going off the rails, off-roading a little bit, but it was very intentional. And then the soul was looking over being like, hey, you don't need to go into that anymore. You don't need to do it that way anymore. You know that this part of it is complete. And then it kind of like slowly came back on and merged, and it created this wholeness of energy and this potency, right? When we merge those higher and lower aspects of ourselves, from the higher self merges with the physical body, this fragmented aspect of us merges in, it cleanses, it clarifies, and it merges. And it comes forward in a greater potency. And then there's an acceleration. It can move forward with greater ease and strength and power and fortitude. And that is this image that I'm getting, is that we are merging, we are rebirthing. There is an emergence. So this going off the rails and going into the depths and all that and clearing out the weeds was intentional for this powerful rebirth and powering up of your energy and your field and your potential. And you're moving forward really an accelerated timeline. I feel like there's a lot of mission, purpose, path, greater mission, greater potential that is coming forward from this new place. And that is where I feel like this energy of the equinox is coming forward. Like you've cracked some kind of code, you're cracking the code, and you're moving forward with this energy, with this awareness, with this wisdom that is of your soul. So if things feel unknown at times, it is already known to your soul. It's okay to be in the unknown. Just treat it with joy and excitement like that kid, it's a surprise. The universe wants to bring through excitement, surprise, like you've milked that experience. And now there's an energy of emergence. There's a newness, like, that feeling that you could, walk through the new door at any time, or meet that right person at the right time, or that idea. Like, so much rebirth and birth that is happening. So I hope that this provided you with some ease. And I have uploaded on my YouTube channel, which I'll link in the show notes. At the beginning of March, I was a guest on my friend Will, the Palladian channel. He has a monthly membership, and I was the guest in his monthly membership. We both co-channeled the March energy update, and I led a very powerful activation, which would be really great to do. If there's anything that you want to do, I have uploaded it to my YouTube channel, so you can find that in the link in the show notes if you're listening to this on the podcast. Otherwise, it's on my YouTube channel. And it's perfect. It's there for you. I hope that you enjoy this energy update. If you could like, subscribe, comment, let me know. I love to hear from you. And I hope that you have an incredible week, or whenever you're listening to this is perfect. And just remember, the angels are reassuring you. They're supporting you. You can bring through a sense of ease and love and grace and balance. It does feel like there's balance happening. So I will speak to you in the next video.